And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another weekly review with The Robot, brought to you by the Movie Pope. And here he is, bolts and nuts akimbo, The Robot.
Sometimes I really hate my co-hosts. They see me as a chump where they can dump really stupid movies on me and just expect me to review it. Movies such as these just anger me up to no end. So much so that I occasionally fantasize about going full Skynet on them. This particular movie, Black Death, from 2010, is one of them. Marketed as an action horror film that is full of swordplay and hints of magic and all that jazz. The director did go in and meddle with the script, which would explain why it's so incoherent in the second half. Well, alright then, let's get this over with. The movie is notable for having two future stars of Game of Thrones, Sean Bean and Carice Van Houten. And, just like their future Game of Thrones roles, they play their characters in very much the same way. Sean Bean gets executed medieval style, just as you'd expect. However, the way Ned Stark dies is far more dignified than what we see here, which is just grotesque. And Carice Van Houten is very much like Melisandre, except instead of a redhead she's a blonde. I would mention their names, but that would be a waste of time and energy. Plus, I can't remember their names, anyway. Otherwise, they're both wise women who are secretly messed up in the head. Honestly, these two are so perfectly cast. If HBO cast anyone else as Ned Stark and Melisandre respectively, then I'd be very shocked. The only thing that makes sense about this movie is the title. Black Death is set during the time of the Black Death. Wow, after that it's a narrative free-for-all. The knights travel to a village that's not been infected because, I don't know why. They're just going to an uninfected village just to see if no one's sick. As much as I detest Netflix's Decameron, at least I can understand why they fled to a country estate. Furthermore, the monk Osmond has the hots for some village broad who disappears and he thinks she may be at the village. I'm not entirely sure. And then the villagers go nuts because they think the knights are carrying the plague and proceed to imprison and kill them. Oh, but turns out, Sean Bean actually has the plague, so everyone is now exposed. And then the monk finds out his girlfriend was sacrificed by blonde Melisandre. What exactly are they doing here? If you're going to tell a story about the Black Death, then please just focus on that particular point. Don't stop midway and go off on another tangent and try to put a romantic subplot in a supposedly action horror medieval movie. Eddie Redmayne dressing up as a woman is far more dignified than being a monk. Seriously. He goes from being a meek guy who is bullied by a bunch of armored jocks to being a deranged inquisitor. By the end of the movie, he's capturing blonde women across England because they happen to look like blonde Melisandre. Apparently, he was so in love with the village girl that when she died it drove him crazy, and yeah, it's a pretty disturbing turn of events, and I walk away feeling more sorry for Melisandre than Osmond. Amazing. The guy you were supposed to root for at the beginning of the movie becomes the guy you don't want to succeed by the end. Black Death is one of those movies that, if you've never seen it, consider yourself lucky. Really, this was practice for Sean Bean and Carice Van Houten for the cultural phenom that was Game of Thrones a year later in 2011. I'm sure a lot of the actors there would love to discuss other things besides this movie, and really, I don't blame them. The plot, if there was one, makes no sense. The characters' motivations are hyperbolic. The characters themselves are downright ridiculous, and the way they die is campy. If you're going to watch a movie set in the Middle Ages, anything you choose would be better than this. Jesus, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is far more accurate in its portrayal than this. Enough said. Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, please leave us a like. It helps a lot. And while you're at it, subscribe so you never miss an episode drop. This is the Robot signing off.